All right, Jake, so one question that I think somebody in latte art asks, even themselves, like even as they're getting better, they're like, can I do this in any kind of milk? Is that true? Can you, any kind of milk, should you be able to do latte art with?
Well, yes, it is certainly possible. I mean, I think that there are some forms of milk that definitely lend themselves better to latte art. Obviously, the very best milk to go for is whole fat milk. That milk has enough fat bodies that it makes the foam nice and dense, thick and velvety. Now, when you start getting into 2% and then especially into skim, that milk expands in that it'll hold a lot of air because it doesn't have a lot of weight. So that makes it good for cappuccinos. But when it comes to latte art, it gets a little bit more difficult. So you have to pay more attention when you're stretching that, because the tendency of those skim milks and less fat milks is that they tend to hold on to larger bubbles. So I think that that's something to look out for. But I think there are certainly some other milks now that we're seeing a lot of lactose intolerance being more of a thing, that there's a lot of milk alternatives such as soy, almond, cashew milk even. Yeah. So I know you've had more experience with some of those milks.
Yeah, especially where we live and where our cafes were originally. I mean, this is a very healthy state, Colorado, where we are, and a lot of people are trying to get away from the milk fats, and they didn't like that we served whole milk as our base. That was our choice when we had our cafes, is whole milk was kind of our standard and go-to, but we gave people the chance to pick. And there are some people who say, hey, I can't have dairy, or I'm just trying to be more healthy or whatever. So we went into the soy. Soys are tricky. Soy milks, you kind of got to find a really thick soy milk. We usually use the vanilla-based soy milk. There's a great milk out there that's intended for baristas, but finding a soy milk that's thick, that will foam well, that's very important. So soy you can do latte art with. You have to play with the temperature. Usually I'm only stretching to about 80 or 90 degrees on that. And then cashew milk, I actually found cashew milk is really easy to work with latte art. I use a pea protein milk that I think is great, and it can expand, and it has a great thickening agent with it. So there are other milks that you can use, and I think it's important that we offer those to our customer, and don't be mad when they say, well, I want a pea protein milk, right? Like, I wish it was whole milk so I could make better art. No, that's on you as the barista. Just work really hard to find the right brand, the right type, and then to work with that to make the best latte art you can.